Like we do have all 10 connected, so we should be getting going for the knife round. Let's get it. Or we're going to get a pause. I hear lots of messages in the console. So we're going to at least get a knife round. Oh, it's going to be different. Instead of mid, we're going to knife down A long. This is different and exciting, and I'm here for it. Maybe that's what all those messages were, is we're going to get the knife out mid instead of, or knife out A long. Although everyone being a little bit scared of each other. Ooh, Brett takes first blood. Bad news, Capybara take a quick lead, but now Mason in a 1v1 versus MDS. He ducks the knife, but he's not able to hold on. So it is going to be bad news, Capybara sweeping up that knife round. They will get themselves the choice of side. And as you normally do, they will go for that CT side. But I hear the messages hitting the console, and I'm imagining that we're gonna... Are we gonna have a pause? There it is. Well, we're gonna go back to just getting close to some of these players. Again, not doing the observing. It's not me. So if you're curious how I've done this, I actually, I think it's really cool. Because there's a lot of different software you can use to broadcast. Oh, hey, look, there's a little figure on that one. There's a lot of different software that you can use to pick this, to do the remote broadcasting like this. It's really local area broadcasting, but you know how it is. And what we're doing is we're using OBS that's recording to a network stream. And then I'm picking up the network stream on my computer. And I just think that's so interesting. If you've never heard of FFmpeg before, it's kind of the backbone of basically all web encoding. All video encoding, yes. So a little history lesson as we get into the round. Now Vagrants looking like they want to take these B spawns and shove them right in Bad News Capybara face. We do have a couple of lurks out as well, but well, Vagrants, they choose not to go quite as fast as maybe expected. Grave Kevin starting off strong with the player, trying to sneak out under, but this time, Sandman, good trade back on a Gabe. That's going to leave Seabass on site all alone. He's got back up here. MDS with the dualies through door, but it's going to be up to Seabass. He's the one on site, but now, Bad News Capybara, they wrap on into the tunnels player, Brett, and the rest of Vagrants will fall left and right. Theb, last player standing, knows where the bomb is, knows where these players are lurking, but not going to be able to do anything about it. J Chance will close out the round. Bad News Capybara going to be off to a nice start. A 3K out of J Chance. 314 ADR. So just slamming the door on those heads. One after another. Vagrants. Miscommunication? Consti picking up the scout, but the rest of this team doesn't look like they were ready for the force. Grave Kevin just gonna spray down 3. Consti just gonna back it off. Like, alright, guys, understandable. Have a nice day. I got my scout. I'm gonna play a scout round. So, gosh, if we have to actually wait the minute 15 for the save, because this has to have been a misbuy. All right, at very least we get a merciful closeout here. A 4K for Grave Kevin. Like, I've talked about the scout buys in previous, where you can buy it on the second round if your team wants to force, and then have enough money to do it on the next round. But given the rest of the team has AKs, Consti has a Deagle, I feel like there was a miscommunication there. I do not think that was the intended plan. We'll see if Vagrants can recover from that. They're going to brawl out a long here. Big fight to go down, and Sandman and Brett close out to Sandman with the third as well. So Vagrants recovering from the early missteps here with a 4 versus 2. Gabe getting up close and personal with the MP9. Doesn't care about the smoke and sprays down 7 Sandman. Okay, well, that's one way to deal with losing the brawl out A early. We do have Mason kind of off in another zip code, and the nice thing about not having a primary for Consti is he's able to just recover Brett's AK. So he's going to feel pretty good at the very least with that. But this fight rolling up ramp, not going to go well for Mason. That is going to give information over to Consti as he starts to work his way on up. Finds the player Gandalf, and that is going to be... Oh, just going to fake the plant. Knows there's a player sitting in CT. Doesn't know if he has the time to do this. Doesn't need it either. Just going to slay Grave Kevin. The Vagrants making up for their earlier rounds here. They do trade one right back. We got more interesting buys. MDS with the XM, J-Chance. That one is a little bit more reasonable. Picking up the scout on CT side is something I fully support on dust2. It's the sniper's map, and you're going to feel pretty good having that glass. Although MDS, that's the scout, or the auto sniper, or auto shotgun put down. See if the scout is able to tag anybody up. The smoke out to block off CT, but now Vagrants, they're pushing back into lower tons, and they're not expecting Gabe. The 1-for-1 trade will be quite rewarding, but picking up that MAC-10, less so. Vagrants taking man advantage. They'll get across, but that gap is more than enough for Seb to get tagged up. So now, the health actually between these two teams totals up at about 200 per team, and we do get the afterplant going into effect here. J-Chance up close and personal with the scout, with Gabe making his way up through cat. Spots the head of one on sight. Trying to spray down. Is not going to be so successful in doing it. Now, J-Chance getting into position. Elevator, but Consti going to push on in with the kill. Does get the trade from Gabe. Oh, now this round gets interesting. 1 versus 1, but Gabe doesn't have the kit. He's going to pick up the AK, and he's going to vacate the premises, but not before vacating Mason's head. Vagrants, they do take a second round, but it is a very expensive one. So 2-2, but the buy now for the C side, not going to be quite as strong as it otherwise would be. And, well, bad news, Capybara doing it a good job to keep things close. That does mean that they'll have a couple of rifles here for Gabe and MDS to try to battle this one back, but the buy definitely in favor of Vagrants after that one. The other negative here is bad news Capybara with Nari a kit. I feel like I used that right. Nary a kit. But, I mean, they do still have that CT side. They do still get to defend. So if they set up correctly, they might not even need it. 3 players stacked over towards A, 2 towards B. Mid left open. So we do get an aggressive presence onto Cat about to emerge here for bad news Capybara. Ooh, are we going to get the run boost? J-Chance is in just the right spot, but this Molotov not going to allow it. It will push J-Chance out into the open, and this Molotov back. Going to stop the push in from Vagrants as J-Chance goes down. Ooh, Deagle out for Seabass, but nothing happening for him. Meanwhile, Sandman puts 2 to sleep, and Mason will find a 3rd as well. Vagrants now at a serious advantage, and will survive this one all 5 as Mason slays Seabass. So all right, we're gonna ignore what happened on the second round for Vagrants. That's fine. That's bad news Capybara converting their pistol. With a round ahead, and money in the bank. They take the time out to let them think about what they've done. So there's not going to be much of a buy out of the Bad News Capybara side this time around. Likely to just be some pistols, but they are going to be on nearly the full round loss bonus this round and the full round loss bonus for the next. Looking at some default skins here on Vagrants. What have we got here? So that's somebody's M4. I think that's like the one from the Snakebite case. But we're going to go look at the CTs as well, see if they've got any interesting stuff. So we got a P2000. We got a Deagle. That's like the budget Deagle Blaze. Okay. All right, good. Round has started, though. So we'll just get on into it, and we're just going to have a brawl out A-long. It's pistols versus rifles. And you know what? When you combine enough pistols, things do get rather dangerous, although Sandman gonna prove me very wrong, taking down 3 himself with a full house out of Mason. So a quick round for Vagrants. Explosive out of the timeout. Only losing Consti in the attempt. That just means that he's gonna have the empty hands and go for that AWP. Quarter 2 with an opportunity to Vagrants to really grind their heel into Bad News Capybara. They win this. Bad News Capybara need to save if they lose the bomb site, because they're going to want every single piece of hardware that they're going to have access to. We do see we are going to get the op battle coming out here. No, we're not. Sorry, op battle gonna happen later. Sandman already sprinkling sand into Gabe. Follows up with Grave Kevin. We're gonna see exactly that save I was talking about. Bad News Capybara can't take the smoke on this one. They cannot risk these weapons. They have bought down to 0. And it is just far too risky, but Seb does not want to let them have those. So he is gonna try to wrap these players up, but will be spotted by MDS, so now that push officially too risky to go for. Meanwhile, Mason making some noise, trying to pull Bad News Capybara into a mistake. They don't seem to be falling for it. Got 2 players in pit with that AWP holding double doors. Did you just throw your gun and then run across where you knew the op was? I mean, that's an idea. I can't even call it a bad idea, because one of the more famous plays on this very map was simple, tossing his op over a wall to attract attention and then doming somebody. So I can't really fault you throwing away your AK and hoping that you're going to pull a simple maneuver. I can fault you for throwing your AK and then not peeking. But all that aside, we do get the timeout of Bad News Capybara. Good timing for that, because they do have now a 3-round buffer on the side of Vagrants, 2 to 5, and you really need to start pulling some of these back, because the money is going to be in that situation where you're going to buy save. And in an MR12, there's just not enough time to claw back a half at that point. Granted, the T side of dust2 is, I mean, the T side of every map is strong right now. You know, we went from CSGO, the land of one-ways, and the M4A1S being redonkulous, to smokes that you can blow open with HEs, and people just doing that with the AKs. And Mason, good kill, does get traded back by J-Chance. This is going to open up, this is going to ring the dinner bell for Bad News Capybara. They're like, all right, we saw the player by boxes, and we think the B site is weaker. They do call this one correctly. It's just Grave Kevin put into the grave on the B-bomb site, and 2 versus 4. This one should be a save for the Capybara as well. They have to hold on to that op for J-Chance. It did get the kill. It did prove its worth. It's going to need more than one. But one is a good start. Bad news, Capybara. They're going to need to figure out what's next after the start. Ooh, well, all right. If you, the economy for Vagrants is very good right now. But if, oh no, Sandman. Sandman, play me a dream.
Terrorists win.
And it's just MDS left standing after the carnage. 6-2. Well, just enough money left in the bank account to pick up some M4s for Bad News Capybara, but with no AWP on the CT side, they're gonna really start feeling the pinch on this one. Consti hasn't even gotten a big, I was about to say, hasn't gotten a big opportunity to use his op. He gets one, and Grave Kevin punishes him for it, so. Alright, this might be the round the Bad News Capybara looking for. 2 kills already, and great damage with the HEs. Look at this. 23 and 24 HP Vagrants with 1:26 remaining. It's going to be up to Seb to crack open a bomb site, and we might just see it. He killed as he's pushing on up long. Seabass will catch him unawares. So it's a 2 versus 3 with a combined hit points of less than half of your starting hit points. So this one likely to be a slower round. So I guess we go across the scoreboards of the other games going on. Super Evil Gang versus Worms is SEG 5-4. Nouns versus Legacy 5-4 in the favor of Legacy. NRG versus Marsborn is 4-4. And In Control versus Chicken Coop is 4-5. Favoring Chicken Coop. So this is the only game that's not 4-5 or 4-4, which is funny in its own way. Ooh, there we go. Picking up those kills onto the MP9 is going to feel quite good in the AWP changing hands. Seabass. Well done for the Capybara side. See if this round shakes any differences into the half so far. It has been just a really dominant side for Vagrants, so see if that trend continues. Time Vagrants forced to play a little bit further back. Bad News Capybara with finally a lot of utility to play with. And these smokes gonna make sure that this round lasts at least a little bit longer. Not gonna be relying on any early sight hits this time around. Classic wait for utility. Dust2, although MDS can be caught with his pants down. He did get the nade down, but just a second too late. 2 players now on this A-bomb site, waiting for the hit. Seabass, oh, it looked like he was going to be in the right position, but Sandman, too quick for him, and too quick for a second. Now Grave Kevin, all alone. Here's the bomb plant, but can do not a thing about it. Will pop Fred's head, and a second onto Seb. So at the very least, pulling the numbers back. But it's not going to be enough to defuse this one, so just has to go for the save. I feel like I've said that kind of a lot this half, but it's been a lot of really successful just openings for Vagrants. Sometimes you'll end up on a site and you'll have to take a hit and then fall back and rotate. And sometimes you'll end up on a site and everything goes right. And Vagrants are kind of exemplifying the you get onto a site and everything goes right. Haven't done a whole lot of, all right, send one up to Cat, and send one up to A. We see if we get the pick here. We see if we get the pick here, you know. No, it's just been, we just go to the site, and then we're on the site. I don't know what other planning we need. But again, I feel like you can put a lot of the credit for that onto the IGL Brett. I think he does a good job of pulling the defensive pieces around by using good utility. We've seen a lot of that in some of the previous maps for Vagrants. You can never really underestimate them, even against teams. Hold on. Mason, about to be peaked by MDS here. Just holding the lurk and upper tons. MDS just jiggling, waiting for the push. I wonder if this is a call out of Brett to hold the lurk. The Bad News Capybara are going to go for something desperate. Or if this is just good timing, because Seabass does take down Brett to open this one up, but the trade back from Seb will keep everyone honest. But now we do see the round unfolding in a little bit of a different pattern than we have seen. Bad News Capybara, they do rebuff the first push. And now we get to see a little bit more unfolding. Mason playing from the side of mid. Gonna make Gabe regret pushing on out, but MDS, no such regrets here. MP9 put to good use. Ooh, J-Chance, he's tapping through the smoke. Look at the damage. The headshot onto Sandman, and there's more to be done. Seb, though, gonna prevent it, and MDS now, the last player standing, 1 versus 2, as this bomb gonna be planted. Does recover the kit as he's headed in through CT, but also recovers a tag, down to 9 HP. I do want to say, I can't really say your name, but Witcher, thank you for the tier 1 3-month subscription. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is going to be an 8th round for Vagrants, looking at a possible 9 out of them, because it's just this T side has had their name all over it. I mean, getting into the end of the half, Bad News Capybara have 2 players that don't really have rifle money. No one's got AWP money. You know, we've had rounds where not everybody has had a kit, or there's been 0 kits. So it's really been just a rough CT side for Bad News Capybara. Oh, are we going to just end this one with a simple B hit? Is that going to be it? Molly is in position, but I don't know if that's going to stop Vagrants in this one. They might just be like, all right, we're done with this half. We're just going to go. Well, smoke will at least hold them back for just a little while longer. And, well, Grave Kevin going to pick off Mason on the cross. Consti lit down low as well. The rest of the Vagrants going to head up to Cat. J-Chance going to be the first one to meet their wrath. But new MDS trade this one back. And, ooh, that one hurts. Seb, he gets the kill onto Kevin, but does trade with his teammate's life. Seb down to 3 HP. It is going to be Bad News Capybaras crushing in from all directions as they do close out a 4th. So, pretty rough CT side. But I do feel like there's still that potential for the comeback. 4-round buffer for Vagrants. The way that MR12 is going is you do get just a pistol and a conversion. You're already most of the way there. This is a best of 2. Our next map tonight will be Inferno. We do not have a 3rd map. It's just that the HUD always wants to show 3 maps. So, yeah, it's just that, okay, Brett getting really activated here, just walks on in and takes Seabass's head right off. Meanwhile, Mason going to tag down these players on Cat. That's a good first, but he is traded out here, and Brett not expecting the second in double doors. It's doubled players. Now we're into the 3 versus 3. Bad news, Capybara. They get the bomb down, which is going to be significant, even if they lose this round at this point. They're going to find themselves with the money to buy on in, and every one of these kills is just going to be icing on the cake if they can get them, but that's a good start. Brave Kevin with 1, and the second, and the third. Bad news, Capybaras. They are not done yet. And that's a dangerous thing to be giving the T side on the pistol round. 3 players surviving with armor is going to be huge in the favor of Bad News Capybara. Brett gonna... So, okay. This is what you expect when you get the scout. You get the rest of the team forcing as well, not just the person buying the scout. I'm going to stop harping on this for next map, but it just bothers me when teams at this level are buying in an incongruent way. But these MP9s should be solid. Obviously, you're not going to want to do that deep peek on Cat. You're going to try and wait for Bad News Capybara to get close. Although, we are going to get the push out of B. Ooh, Brave Kevin and J Chance will make quick work of it. And Seb, oh, not able to use that close angle to his advantage. Now, Sandman looking for something in mid is going to find it, but only one. These Bad News Capybara players, they do end up pretty tagged up. MDS and J-Chance both going to be that one scout shot away from death, but Consti, it is a glass scout, so he is going to just hold on to this. Bomb has been planted. So we're going to get the bomb plant and the full 45 seconds here. Shall we count it down together, chat? No, because I don't actually know how many seconds are left. So we're just going to watch Consti reload. He's got the Bad Dragon Scout. Sorry, I mean Dragon Fire. I used to use this Scout skin until I started being like, I gotta use souvenirs because they have history, and I got a souvenir Scout skin, and I like it a lot better. Just wandering around the B-bomb site. Bad News Capybara not interested in risking any of their guns, so we'll just hold on and chill with them. And we will be off. So, Scout held on to for Consti, gonna stick with the Glass Scout. Play that down mid. The rest of Vagrants. So, okay. This is something... One, it's something that I've seen a lot in general. You have pistols, you send them all to the same place. You hope that one player peeks into you, and with all of your pistols... Okay, or you don't even need the pistols. Consti just gonna quick scope on in. Good tag on a Gabe as well. That's gonna send Bad News Capybara running. And that's a weapon now knocked loose. Seb is going to be more than happy to pick up. Gabe left behind to watch here in upper tons. This one could get dangerous, but Seb will fall back. The rest of Bad News Capybara going to be sent to just split off across the map. So, going back to the pistol thing. This Vagrants... Okay, hold on. Never mind. I'm not allowed to talk. Mason, Jones, J-Chance. Bad News Capybara, they do get the trade, and they're going to punish Sandman quite heavily here, but this was something I always would like to see, especially on Vertigo, from when Vagrants were unjustified. They would all stack up. They'd send, as soon as one player would happen on by, they would get destroyed. And then that rifle would be collected, and suddenly a pistol round... I'm sorry, a pistol round would be won out of nowhere, exactly like this. And again, I'm going to chalk that up to good old-fashioned North America pug mentality. The pistols are never out of the fight, especially not where North America is concerned. We can choke versus any guns, and we can win with any guns. Oh man, look at that op. That is something else. All right. Skin drooling aside. Bad news Capybara now stuck on 3 rifles, but these deagles should have a good chance. It's a good question though, is do you send the deagles in first or do you send them in second after they've picked up the rifles? Well, this time you send 1 pistol and 1 rifle in and they both die. Bad news Capybara now without the bomb as well. Forced to reposition, and Mason about to have himself a feast. Seabass walking in, not knowing if he's going to be challenged. Oh, and we get even more. Vagrants they just walk out and they hit every shot. Sometimes the timing just goes your way. That is a golden example of golden timing. It's the golden age. What can I say? So it's going to be pistols once again for Bad News Capybara. Which again is going to feel not terribly good. Full rifles, full nades. Vagrants, they must be feeling confident because they haven't all 5 bought kits, even though there's plenty of money to do so. That's a chonky nade. Seabass and J-Chance lit down to a 3rd health apiece. Kind of feels like Bad News Capybara. They've been caged up inside of lower tons. Caged up in tons in general. Don't cage your capybaras. Let them roam free. Vagrants, the chattering of their AKs just all over the map. What a spray down, Brett. Just walks up and sprays down 3. Seb joining in as well. And MDS, the last player to locate Sandman, will make that one quick. I know Brett's a big fan of this map because he's clipped stuff on this very channel of doing stuff like that. So Brett, if you come back for the clip, I know. Thank you for clipping things. Brett, if you want to clip that, I would appreciate that as well, but might already be too late. You might have to go back into the VOD for it. Anyways. Ooh, nade, not quite as chonky. Grave Kevin gonna stop Mason from pushing. That is gonna be valuable. Vagrants now allowing Bad News Capybaras a lot more space than they otherwise would have. They're not gonna be gifted long, but now they know that Vagrants want to push long. So that's gonna give them some more areas around the map. MDS trying to take advantage of Cat, but Bad News Capybaras with 3, or Vagrants with 3 outside of A. Ooh, anti-flash. Consti gonna be the one to fall, but Brett does hit the trade. Big fight on Cat about to emerge, and Brett will take 1 and say thank you, goodbye. What's the point of 2 best of 1 instead of 1 best of 3? It's faster, timing is consistent. And you know what else is consistent? Sandman. Come into his house, you best not miss. But yeah, given how a best of 3 can go to 3 games, there could be lots of overtimes. I think that the biggest advantage of a best of 2 is that you can always start these games at 8 p.m. Central Time or 9 p.m. if we're in this weird trench between where North America has already leapt forward and Europe has not yet leapt forward. And you're always going to be getting out at about the same time. Now, bad news, Capybara doing that lower thing once again. 3 players hanging out here. We got Seb ready and waiting for it, but a wayward shot will alert him. Oh no, and Brett, he thought he snuck up behind them, but he had Great Kevin behind him as well. Literally that astronaut meme. You thought I was behind you? Always was. Now it's going to be up to Sandman to hold down mid, but it's a good start. We've seen how he holds down these narrow passageways. He's good for one, but then he is done. Molly stopped the push onto Cat, so that flash not going to be able to be pushed behind. Seb, looking out for this. Looking out. Vagrants really want to close this one fast, and it feels like they're pushed way too far up as a result. Gabe rips Seb's head off. All right, we've decided that this is not going to be the last one of the half because Vagrants are getting too antsy for it. So bad news, Capybara will give themselves a good one. Give themselves another lease at life here. Put themselves now 5 rounds from bringing this one to overtime. Yeah, I do get the timeout. How is it going to Mr. Stabby? Are you a spy player? Good. Glad to hear it. We're going to look at some of the rifles, except I'm taking my glasses off so I can do a little cleaning. So we have, let's see, default AK. Didn't get stabbed? That's good. All right, we're going to get to look at that, a different op. This is it looks like a pink DD-Pat. And we've got a default M4. We've got, I think that's a Black Lotus. It's hard to tell on the grayscale. I played Spy and Highlander one season, and that was enough for me to go, yeah, I probably shouldn't be playing Spy. I'm bad at this. I thought I could be better at it, but hit scan wasn't for me. I tried to play Scout most of the time, and honestly, if I ever decided that I'm done casting CS, I would probably go back and try to play TF2 competitively again, or cast TF2. Would love to cast some TF2. Ooh, we're gonna get to boost it up on Cat. That's gonna... Ooh, this is dangerous. Consti spotted. Tagged down just a little bit. The Mollies will push them right back. And Mason playing in the corner in mid. The classic position rewards him with 1, but kill foul will be found back. And again, Vagrants, they're getting antsy. They're getting too pushed up, too antsy. Consti, though, holding back from mid. And okay. Well, they're getting antsy, but it's with a purpose. They do manage to hold bad news Capybara to mid. And Seb now behind them. Now things get very dangerous here with the smoke down. Nothing to stop these bullets from coming through. There's the first, and Seb will close this one out with a double. Vagrants 13-7 to close out the first map. Some very good scores from Vagrants, too. We had 24 and 11 from Sandman. Brett with a standout score as well. I mean, the most interesting part is Consti he's the new player, and he just didn't need to do much of anything for the Vagrant side. I am going to go to a bit of a break here, just between maps, but I do want to say thank you. If you're in chat and you're hanging out, thank you. You are awesome. If you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch, join the Discord, follow the stream. I will be back in 3,